Happy Halloween. We are here today to talk a little bit about the autumn budget that was announced yesterday, a little less spooky than perhaps we all thought it might be. There are, however, a couple of material changes that we feel likely will affect our clients and public more broadly as well. Some of the more bombastic headlines about the removal of tax-free cash or the change in prospective changes to contributions that you can pay into pensions and tax reliefs that may have applied, they didn't come to pass. A couple of things did, however, and we would like to caveat this by saying that some of these changes are still in consultation, so we are going to present these with the information that we have to hand at the moment to the best of our ability. And to do that today, fortunately, I have someone with me rather than doing myself. We've got Katie, who's going to be explaining these changes and how they may affect our clients.
Thanks, Ollie. So yeah, as Ollie mentioned, I'm just going to pick up on what we think are the main headline areas that will be of interest to particularly our clients, but also people who generally look at the financial planning arrangements. Three areas. The first area is the capital gains tax. As was mooted before the budget, there were changes to capital gains tax. I don't think it was as penal perhaps as some people were expecting it to be. In terms of the changes to capital gains tax on property, that stays the same. There is no change to any of the rates on property investments at all. There are changes though to investments held in stocks and shares. So for example, the basic rate's gone up from 10 to 18%, and also the high rate threshold, high rate tax rate's gone up from 20 to 24%, and that will be for, as we understand it, for disposals beyond March next year. So obviously there might be some planning that you want to take in between now and March, depending on your circumstances. The next one is pensions. Obviously this has been a massive area pre-budget of people speculating what may or may not happen. I think a lot of the headline rates that you talked about, Ollie, so the changes to tax-free cash, contribution levels, and also tax relief on contributions hasn't actually materialised at this point. But one of the big changes was the inclusion now of any unused pension assets within a person's estate at their date of death, which obviously potentially could fall into inheritance tax liabilities. Again, that's under consultation at the moment, so there's a consultation up until I think it's the 22nd of January next year, so we probably won't find out any more detail about how that works until after that point, with the inclusion of that not coming forward until January 2027. So there's a couple of years where clients have got a bit of time to make a decision on how they restructure perhaps their finances in advance of that. And also finally, the last area is obviously inheritance tax itself. Now there's been a couple of changes to agricultural property relief and business property relief, and obviously the rates at which that is the relief is applied, whether it's 100% or 50%. So again, could be an area for clients to have a think about in terms of what they do with their assets and what they invest in, and obviously part of the business property relief from our perspective falls into kind of business property relief qualifying investments, so such as alternative investment market AIM shares as well. And that's pretty much the headline rates, I think, that would be of interest from our perspective when discussing with clients about their financial planning.
Thank you very much indeed for explaining all that, Katie. So quite a few changes there, perhaps not as major as we thought, but certainly a couple there that are going to materially impact quite a few people. We'd recommend that if you do have a financial advisor, perhaps you get in touch with them to discuss that. And if you don't, please do give us a call or drop us a line on our email. Thank you.